Today, I would like to discuss 3 new reports being released by CDC that provide a look at vaccine protection against Omicron, including the added protection provided by booster doses. In general, we see lower overall vaccine protection against Omicron as we saw against the Delta variant shown by the blue line, especially with just 2 doses of an mRNA vaccine. For those who received the first 2 doses, vaccine effectiveness was 38% against emergency room visits and urgent care visits after 6 months. However, vaccine effectiveness increased up to 82% for those who received their booster dose. Similar as to seen with emergency department visits on the prior slide, for both the Delta and Omicron variant, there was a decline in vaccine effectiveness against hospitalization over time. But following a 3rd dose, vaccine effectiveness against hospitalization with Omicron increased to 90%, nearly matching the effectiveness against the Delta variant and even higher than vaccine effectiveness after the first 2 doses of the mRNA vaccine. Overall, for those who received a booster dose, had the most protection against emergency room visits, urgent care clinic visits, and hospitalizations.
The most important thing is that people come together and enjoy, because times are tough, but I think there's always room to enjoy.
Well, this is a really special experience for me. I didn't think it would be so soon that I would be here, and that my first time coming back to Cuba after my family left in 1961, I didn't think that my first time would be playing music here.
Ethiopia's military is planning to enter Tigray's capital Mekelle and eliminate rebellious forces. That was the message from General Abebo Tadesse late on Friday in an interview with state-affiliated broadcaster Fena.
Mekelle and Tigray are Ethiopian territory. No one will stop us. We will go in and eliminate the enemy. There should not be any confusion about this. The Ethiopian people should not perceive as if the war is over. It is not over.
The Horn of Africa country has been in the grip of conflict for over a year. The federal military and its allies have been battling forces loyal to the Tigray People's Liberation Front, the political party that controls the northern region. Recently, there has been an uneasy stalemate between the 2 sides, punctuated by sporadic fighting. TPLF forces control most of Tigray, but are surrounded by hostile forces who are allied with the federal military. Abebo said Ethiopia would not be able to enjoy peace until the enemy is eliminated. His comments come despite diplomatic efforts to end the violence. This week, 2 top US diplomats flew to Addis Ababa to push for a ceasefire. They're trying to build on tentative signs of a thaw in relations between the warring parties. The TPLF spokesman could not be reached to respond to the military official's comments. Spokespeople for the Ethiopian government and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed did not immediately respond to requests for comment.
This is the scale of devastation in Apiate, a rural community in Ghana, flattened when a truck carrying explosives detonated. Police say at least 13 people were killed and around 180 injured. Hundreds of buildings reduced to piles of wood, rubble, and twisted metal. And a yawning crater marking the epicenter of the blast. Daniel Adugyamfi, a student from a nearby mining college, says he rushed to the scene when the explosion happened on Thursday.
And you could see human remains all over the place. The epicenter of the damage still remains a huge crater over there with no traces of the vehicle over there. So the damage is beyond comparison.
It's not entirely clear what caused the explosion. Police say a motorcycle crashed into the truck and caught fire. A government statement said a roadside power transformer could have been involved. The truck was owned by Spanish company Maxam, which was transporting explosives to the Chirano gold mine run by Toronto-based Kinross Gold Corporation, according to police. Maxam has not responded to requests for comment. Kinross said it planned to provide support to the response efforts and relief items to those affected. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources said Maxam has been suspended from manufacturing, transporting and supplying explosives for mining operations, pending the outcome of investigations. But police also said the transportation of explosives had followed proper procedure and that the truck had a police escort. The death toll could also have been much worse. Police spokesman Kwesi Ofori said there was a pause between the collision and the explosion, giving the driver time to tell the community they were in danger. Teachers in a nearby school were among the first informed, meaning they had time to evacuate their children.
Once I get into the sled, all I do is just sit down, hold on, and have a little prayer.
Nimrod Taggart is part of Jamaica's four-man bobsleigh team, which has qualified for the Winter Olympics for the first time in 24 years. Jamaica has been a welcome sight at the Winter Olympics since beating the odds to qualify in 1988. That sporting achievement inspired the feel-good Disney film Cool Runnings, but the four-man team had not qualified since 1998. Now Taggart and his teammates are heading to Beijing, and he says with many sporting facilities closed in the global health crisis, they've inadvertently borrowed from the movie. They resorted to pushing a Mini Cooper around the streets of the UK's Peterborough to stay fit.
And also funny to some person. And now when I'm looking back on Cool Runnings, it was exactly similar, but at that moment, we wasn't thinking about, oh, let's do this because it's in Cool Runnings. We were just thinking about how to get ourselves better and prepared for when it's time.
Taggart is determined to make amends after the team failed to qualify for Pyeongchang 4 years ago by one spot. But they also face other challenges.
Jamaica definitely have the athletes, but when it comes equipment-wise, we don't have the best equipment. But we're not complaining. We have to go out there and use what we have and perform to the best of our ability to represent our beautiful country, Jamaica.
Ready? Let's go.
A GoFundMe for the Jamaica Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation Foundation has raised $5,600 so far, a fraction of the cost for a bobsleigh. Taggart, who comes from an eastern suburb of Kingston, will also feature in a two-man bobsleigh. He hopes the team can capture people's imaginations and bring Jamaica's reggae vibes to the Olympics.
Tired. Me.